Welcome to Waves of Awareness, the podcast that is bringing the voices and personalities of people with disabilities to the community.
Listening along to learn more about the daily life of me and my friends, the resources available to us and our families, and how this podcast is chatting job for me and others with disability in this community.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Waves of Awareness and we are officially in season 10. Round of applause. Yay! Yeah, and so we're kicking off this season with a really great episode. We have a really great friend to Waves here today, Miss Brandy Blanton. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so glad to be here.
Hey, we're glad you're here today too. And then we have two amazing co-hosts for you today. We've got Mr. Johnny Sunshine.
Yeah, hello.
How are you today?
Well, I got around to it, my friend.
Good to hear. And we also have Miss Christy. How are you doing today, Miss Christy?
Good.
Good. Okay. Well, we're going to talk to Miss Brandy today. She is the new executive director of the Circle of Giving, which is brand new to Middle Tennessee. And so we want to learn all about it. And Christy, I think you have some questions, don't you? You want to ask Miss Brandy some questions?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Can you share a little about yourself and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Christy.
You're welcome.
Gosh, at 57 years old, it's hard to explain who you are and what you do.
Everything, y'all. Everything.
Well, I feel like I've lived so many lifetimes. I'm not a Franklin native, but I am a Tennessee native. I've lived in Franklin since I was 10 years old, and I have been a magazine publisher. I've been a bartender. I have been a director of development. Mm-hmm. The last 14 years, I've been a city alderman. Mm-hmm. And as of May of this year, I started what I hope will be my last gig in life as the director of a new nonprofit called the Circle of Giving, which is so much more than what that name says. It is the operator of the Carousel of Dreams by Ken Means, which is a carousel, as you can tell, that is being built at the factory at Franklin that is a nonprofit because at the end of the year, net revenue that we make, we pour back out into this community. So it's
an amazing concept and structure.
Dude, it is like such a gift to be able to do this. I will tell you, starting a nonprofit from scratch is interesting. I kept telling people I feel like I'm in a dark room walking around looking for the light switch. We literally tried to get our IRS determination, which is what makes gifts tax deductible, filed that in October. So for those of you who understand, you want your tax deductions to hit before the end of the year. We did not do that. So we did not get our IRS determination until February.
Oh my gosh.
But we are legal now, and it's all good.
All right.
So
that's amazing. So Christy, you have another question?
Yep. What empowers the Circle of Giving?
Do you want some help?
Carousel
You got it.
of Dreams.
Well, I really inherited this gig. Well, really, the carousel came first. We have our artist is a gentleman named Ken Means. I say he's 86 years old. You usually don't tell people's age, but I think it's really important to know that this man has been his life's work for the last 30 years is carving these carousel animals.
You know, I would have never guessed that he was in his 80s.
86. Probably fixing to be 87. I don't know his birthday.
So, like, I went to the big ribbon cutting and the big reveal.
The launch.
The launch. He is a spry 86-year-old. Like, you would not guess that. He is full of energy, and
yes,
I feel like I would struggle to keep up with him.
He's amazing, and he loves to mess with you, which makes it interesting. But basically, the short story is he and his wife, Betty, who is also very much a part of this project, even though it's named after him, they work together as a team. They have two daughters, and one, they lived in Oregon and still have a home there. And one of their daughters' husband was one of the producers of the show Nashville, for those of you who remember that show. So they moved to Tennessee for the show. Well, his daughter, Chanina, called him and she said, Dad, I've rented you studio space in Franklin at a place called The Factory. And he goes, why? She goes, because you need to come here and spend time with your grandchildren. And he said, well, what if I don't want to come to Franklin? And she said, well, I guess it will just sit empty. So story is, of course, he came to Franklin. And so if you remember in the days of The Factory, when you walked in the front door, to the left, it used to be Essie's Rug Gallery, but then it was Ken Means' studio. And people could come in there and talk to him. And he carved several of the animals there. So when Holiday Properties, is who owns The Factory now, bought it 3 years ago, his studio is right where Edley's Barbecue is in today's Factory. So they go to talk to him because they know they have this grand vision, obviously, to say you're not going to be in that space much longer.
Yeah. Well, that's sad.
And I will tell you something that makes me even more proud to do this job and work with them is that they had the foresight to say, what are your plans? And his plans were to eventually build a carousel. As I said, he'd been working on this for 30 years. And not only did they say, why don't we do it with you? They went one step further and did not keep the money for themselves, as they could, and anybody would, as an attraction on their campus. They decided to create a nonprofit around this initiative. And as I said earlier, the net revenue for this goes back into our community. So that's just
so
unheard
amazing.
of.
It's so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it says a lot to the community about the people who are running the factory. A lot of times you've got people that come into our community, and in my alderman role, we see it quite a bit, who don't understand how we work. They don't have the longevity to understand our sense of community. But to me, it just speaks volume of their heart for something bigger than their own pockets.
Yeah. No,
So-
it's absolutely beautiful.
It's incredible.
So, so beautiful. Do you have another question, Christy?
Yep. What has been the most rewarding part of seeing the project come to life? Any favorite moments so far?
It's a great question. I mentioned, just not really understanding what I was doing. I also did not understand carousels. I mean, it's a very niche type of genre, if you will.
Yeah. I think I'm going to pause and ask, has everyone at the table ridden a carousel before? Christy, have you ever been on a carousel?
Yep.
Yeah? John, have you ever ridden a carousel?
Wake up, John.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay, so...
A long time ago, back in 55, when I was about 5 years old.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Then I got onto it, went up and down, up and down. It was pretty fun.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
continue.
I'm
Brandy.
curious now, man.
You're going to be there. You're going to be one of my first riders.
Yeah.
All right. You better take a picture. Yeah.
I think trying to figure out how to do this and how to do it well and what it means. And luckily, Holiday allowed me to go do some fact finding. So I went to New York City. New York City has several carousels.
Oh, nice.
My favorite there is a carousel named Jane's Carousel. It's below the Brooklyn Bridge, right on the water. It's built in a glass jewel case. It's just really, really neat, and it's very clean. I've been to the Nashville Zoo Carousel. I've been to Chattanooga. And then in the fall, there is a tenant at the factory called Treeline Bamboo. And they're a film company. And they got wind of what was going on, and they've been working on a documentary on Ken and this project for the last
neat.
2 years. So they were doing some filming out there. We went to Oregon, and we went to Spokane, Washington. I did not follow them to Missoula, Montana. But being able to spend time with Ken and Betty, who don't live here anymore, that's the other part of the equation.
I did not know that. Okay.
So Janina's family, since when Nashville stopped, as we all know it did, they went on to Chattanooga. So Ken and Betty are now in Chattanooga.
Gotcha.
Still
Okay.
have their home in Oregon, but they're no longer in Franklin. So here I am working on this project. At the beginning, I'd not even met them. So getting to spend time with them, not only in their home state of Oregon, but we went to a couple of carousels, and watching people interact with him in particular, he's like a legend. And so I really got to understand, I've been so busy worrying about raising money and operations that I really lost sight of the art part of this.
Yeah. Because these are beautiful pieces of art.
Beautiful, intricate.
Because they are hand carved.
Hand carved, hand painted, and in the middle of each one, he carves out a hole, and it's a time capsule of sorts. So each of them have things in them from the period of when he created them. And he would start each animal by drawing it out on paper. He would hang that paper on the wall, and then he would sit there and replicate it slowly. I mean, it takes about a full year to create one of these animals.
Wow. And how many animals are on a carousel?
Well, it varies. Ours is kind of in the medium realm. We're going to have 32 animals
Oh.
and 2 chariots. And what we have is a menagerie, which is different. Most carousels, you think they're all horses. Ours is not all horses.
Yeah.
We have several.
We saw several animals on the website that you showed us before we started
Yeah.
recording. And so I want to ask, like, John, what animal do you want to ride on the carousel?
How about, what else you got? A horse?
I've
Yeah.
got horse.
You got a
Okay.
horse. You got a seahorse.
I've got lions, tiger, giraffes, rooster,
hare,
You got everything down
a
there.
jackrabbit,
jackrabbit, a toad.
a giraffe. Like, there's so many.
Yeah, that's just tall.
Of all the animals in the world, what would you want to ride?
I would a horse.
You want a horse? Okay.
We can do it.
Traditional.
All right.
Gotcha.
We can do it.
Christy, what about you? What kind of animal would you want to ride on the carousel?
A seahorse.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep, we have one. It's called a hippocampus. It's in Greek mythology, and it's bright blue, and it's probably one of the largest animals in the menagerie.
Ooh.
That will be yours. That's the one
Christy
you can
claimed
ride.
it. She wants to ride that one.
Good.
I like it. Did you have another question, Christy? I felt like you were about to say something, or do you want Brandy to keep talking?
How can you listen to get involved or support the carousel to help keep the spirit of giving going?
I love it. You know, we do have a website.
Okay.
It is called thecircleofgiving.org. There you can read more about Ken, the artist. You can see all of the animals in the menagerie. What we have been working on is a capital campaign, which is kind of like that word in the world of nonprofits. Because we do have to pay for what has happened originally. I talked about holiday properties in the factory. They thought this just would be a factory initiative, which it is and forever will be.
Yes.
But as we got deeper into the minutia of starting this, we understood that it really needed to be separate from their business model. So we, the Circle of Giving, which I do have to give a shout out to my daughter Samantha, trying to name a nonprofit. Oh my Lord.
Oh.
And I had the circle part and I was trying to figure it out. And Samantha goes, Mom, what about just the Circle of Giving? And I'm like, I love it. And when the domain is available, you know you
Yeah.
get pay dirt. So that was like,
yeah.
that was good.
Like the stars aligned.
Absolutely. So I needed to raise $1.2 million
Ooh, Lord.
to pay for the menagerie
It's a
for
lot of
Ken's
dollars,
art,
isn't it?
but also the mechanism that will hold the animals. Ken actually had a mechanism. Like he's prepared. He's going to build him a carousel, right?
Yeah.
So as he starts like pulling the mechanism out of wherever it was in Oregon, he realized that it was not going to support the weight of the animals that he carved. Oh. So I was like, oh. So what we have done, there is a company in California named Barango, and we are getting a brand new carousel mechanism, which to me is great because if you do inherit an old one, they're like bearings and oil. And if you just think about all the pitfalls of something that's antique, so that's really, really wonderful. So that is what that capital money is for. The factory has built a brand new building. It's right behind Mockingbird Theater. If you walk outside of Mojo's Tacos and you
Yes.
go the brick pathway, if you just keep going all the way towards the back of the farmer's market, you will see it behind Mockingbird. It's a little bit under 3,000 square feet. It's shaped like an octagon, which would make sense because it's round.
Yeah.
But the roof line is square. It will have 6 garage doors, so we can keep those open when the weather's
so
nice.
it will be covered.
Yes, it
I don't
is.
think I realized that it was going to have a covered piece.
It is definitely covered. In fact, it's funny. You would think with my city job, I know a lot about construction and all that, which I do not. But when I got to this new job, they were value engineering the project, as everybody does. And I asked about the HVAC system, and they're like, oh, we took it out. I'm like, why? well, and I'm like, okay. So the next day I went to my brand new boss, and Staci knows me really well. I don't really have any qualms about speaking my mind. And I sat him down. I was like, look, I don't understand. I said, Franklin, Tennessee is hot.
Yes.
And you want this to be open 365 days a year, right? Yeah. I said, okay, number one, these are wooden art pieces. Wood swells and contracts. Number one. Number two, it's hot in Franklin. I said, and number three, and this
And it
one
can
was
get real
selfish.
steamy.
I said, I had a granddaughter that if she overheated, she would quit breathing. And I said, I cannot in good faith not pursue this.
Yeah.
If I need to raise more money, I will do it.
Yes.
I got my HVAC. So
Oh, nice.
I was very excited about that. So that's happening.
Good job. Yeah. That's
But we will be a tenant of the factory.
Okay.
But as I said in the beginning, it will forever be a factory initiative, but it is run separately as its own nonprofit. We're probably going to hit about a $5 mark for rides.
okay.
However,
Do you hear that, John? $5.
$5.
Okay, good.
John was guessing 10 cents, but
Oh no!
I didn't know. $5. Okay, thank you. I'm just guessing. I'm sorry.
no,
Okay,
it's good.
$5.
No,
Good,
you got to
good,
start
good.
somewhere, right?
But I have plans. I mean, I think I've seen some other carousels. They do a sensory friendly morning. And I think that's going to be a really great opportunity for us where you don't have the music going and you can bring children or
Oh,
adults
yeah.
who don't need all of that background.
That's good.
I also, I want to be able to work with some of our nonprofits in the community like the Boys and Girls Club or
Yes.
community child care so that we have either half price or free for them. I think there's some opportunities for field trips. I've talked to Tori Barnhill across the street at Harlansdale.
Oh, yeah.
There's just a myriad of things that we can do. I will tell you, I'm very glad, and I hope people don't think less of me. There's a lot of carousels that have party rooms. We do not have a party room.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
So
No.
we are not set up for birthday parties. But you can go to Third Coast Clay and have your birthday
Yes.
party and then come ride the
Yeah,
carousel.
the factory does have so many other amenities
Yes.
that you can take advantage of, for sure.
So, yeah, that's how that worked out.
Ah, I love it.
But I am $1,070,000 in. I have 4 animals left to sponsor.
and which animals are those? For any listeners that might want to
Sure.
sponsor.
So we have 4 animals left. One is Shere Khan, who is our crouching tiger, one of our larger animals. He is $40,000. Then we have the hippocampus, which is the seahorse that Christy referenced, another one of our premium ones. Then we have a brain donkey. He literally has his mouth open, brain. And then we have one last horse named Stargazer, which is a beautiful cream-colored horse with
Stargazer.
pink a bridle, and she's looking up. But then the other thing that we've done, because not everybody can afford an animal, and I understand that, is we have another level, and this is on the website. It's called Founding Donor. And what that is anything below that $15,000, which is where the animal started, and below to $2,500, you get your name on the building.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have a really neat monument sign, probably about the size of the whiteboard behind Trent's head. I definitely want to mention that Calvin and Marilyn Leahy are our presenting sponsors. They help support the building.
That's amazing.
So it will start with them, and then we'll have our animal adopters, and then we'll have our founding donors, and then, of course, the construction partners.
I love
But
it.
it will be
yeah.
on that wall in perpetuity. So
That's amazing. Yeah.
It's
So
really cool.
if there's any listeners out there that want to put their name on something like this,
yeah, and any donation is
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. We have
every
a level.
donation makes a difference.
Yes, we know that, don't we, Stacy?
Yes.
Then the last level is a friend of the carousel, and all of those levels get your name as a partner on the website. But the friend level, you will be featured on our website as a friend of
That's
the
great.
carousel.
That's great. I'm so excited for it. Like,
Working on season passes. I don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. I got to get a ticket platform, swag, apparel.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
awesome.
Trash
well,
cans, benches. I don't know.
all the things.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say as waves, and I'll speak on behalf and correct me if I'm wrong, John and Christy, we want to be a part of this opening day too. Like we want to be there. We want to help support, 'cause this is fun.
What time in May? 15th?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay. That's good. At least let us know.
We've got some work to do. But what I want to do on the opening day, I think that during the day I want to really speak to the families and have kind of a 3 or 4 hour opportunity for families to come on that grand opening. And then, of course, that night we'll have a private event for our donors and sponsors that's
Awesome.
a little bit more adult, maybe some adult beverages.
Yeah.
And, you know, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yes, we would love for y'all to be there.
Yes. And I do have one question. Will there be space on the carousel for anyone who utilizes wheelchairs?
So we have 2 chariots.
Nice. Okay.
And we will have a ramp, not a ramp that's from here to the door, a ramp that will get you. It's going to be pretty level to the ground, but that will get that hurdle. And then both of our chariots, one in particular will be incredibly ADA because it will have a seat that flips up. And if you are in equipment, there is a special hook. They have it in Disney now. Not that I've been, but I've heard. Where you can take that wheelchair and you roll them into the chariot and you push it back and it clips and holds on. So you do not have to transfer out of your equipment.
Yes,
Which is sometimes back-breaking. But no, we have got...
and time consuming and just...
For sure. So
and-
the accessibility, you know, ain't going to have some ADA, Stacy. You know, I'm not going to let that
I had
slide.
to ask. Yeah. I know.
And then, you know, there is going to be a height limit. I believe it's 42 inches. You have to be to ride by yourself. And then, you know, obviously an adult can stand. I don't know what the weight limit is yet. We're going to have to check on that.
Okay.
I may not be able to ride my own carousel. We'll see.
Stop.
I may be on a bench the whole time waving. But no, I think, you know, trying to think of everything. And yeah, there'll be some hiccups and all that.
There's
but
so many moving parts.
I'm just going to keep smiling and saying thank you. We are also in the midst. I created my first job description last week for a carousel manager.
Ooh.
So we are looking for somebody that's going to help really, and I'm grateful they said for me to do that because I figured I was going to be the on-off girl, but no. Looking for...
In nonprofits, there's many hats.
I know. So we're looking for a manager that can work 30 hours a week and really just kind of spearhead that initiative, hire some part-time operators, but I'm really going to work on a volunteer program. I've got a ton of retired teachers, firemen, city workers, and we're just in the midst of adding that to the website as well. If you want to come volunteer at the carousel, whether it's, you know, 1 day a week, 1 day a month, I really want us as a community to be able to present that welcoming type atmosphere for not only our residents, but our tourists.
Oh, yeah.
And so to have people that know our community and welcome them, of course, you must really love children. Just we'll give you an apron and you can work a 3-hour shift and just enjoy being a part of something that's really unique in our community.
Yeah, no, I love, like, unique is the word.
Yes.
It truly describes it, and it's so exciting to have something like this come to the factory. And then just, even if you don't even know that the carousel is tied to a nonprofit, it's still an amazing, like, add to our community. But the fact that it has a nonprofit tied to it is just, over the top amazing.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
Yes. Well, thank you, Brandy, for sharing all of this. John, do you have any questions for Brandy?
No, ma'am.
Great.
Oh, I got a question. Is it closer to the railroad track, or is it going to be in the middle of the we call that the west, like in the middle, way in the back?
It's going to be on the side. The best way to enter it from the road is to turn on what we call Marketplace, which is the alleyway when you go past the factory going north. And there's an existing parking lot there, and it's right at the end of that. We are in the midst of approval with the city. I did recuse myself last night.
Okay, that'd be good.
To build a parking garage that will add 250 spaces. And one of the exits from that parking garage, pedestrian-wise, will be right at the front entrance of the carousel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and we are also looking at early plans. For those of you who know, there's AstroTurf now is back in style. So we will have concrete around obviously the outside of the carousel, but really working with the factory to try to create a destination for families. I often joke that the Grand Hall is romper room because children have nothing to do. They either run and climb on the furniture or they eat ice cream. So I think we are working on the opportunity to not only have the carousel, but maybe adjacent to that, have some type of playground equipment that will really create an atmosphere for families to enjoy way beyond paying to ride the carousel.
Yeah, because you already have like a lot of the attractions of like the food and the ice cream and the coffee and the theater and all that kind of stuff. You need the activity portion.
I agree.
So,
And maybe we can program that with story time or who knows what, you know? Maybe some of my retired teacher volunteers, you know who you are.
Call it
can
out.
help us build that program. So
yeah, that's amazing. So many exciting things. I love it.
It makes me so happy that you're really genuinely excited.
Oh, I am. I think
know
it's
you
so
are.
cool. Like, it's neat to be able to see new things come to a community that are unique, and it's not just a cookie cutter replication of something else that you've seen somewhere. And
Well, and I
think that's what brings the beauty of what Franklin is.
Yeah, and we're going to have, obviously when you start anything new, there's going to be a lot of, I would assume, some great PR. I mentioned Tree Line Bamboo earlier. That documentary that they're working on, I would imagine they're going to follow us all the way to opening.
Oh, that's going to be
But I don't know how it's going to be released. There's been some talk about some limited theater releases, kinda like those special movies that are only, or maybe even doing the Netflix type avenue. I don't know. Not my lane, not my world.
Like I can say, as someone who attended the launch, there was a segment that was shared.
Yes, and that was theirs, yeah.
And it was amazing.
It is
It
wonderful.
truly told the story of Ken and Betty and all of the work that they've put into everything to make this happen. And it truly is a story of their life.
Yep.
Like it's their life's work
It is.
being poured into something that they're allowing our community to have.
And they are
so
an
cool.
incredible couple. And, as we're getting closer and the times when I am able to spend with them when they come in town, as he's fine tuning some of the animals, he's like, it's really happening. And I just see that just giddiness in him and Betty of something that they've worked on for so long really coming to fruition, and the pride that they have and the excitement. And really, it is about celebrating his work. And that's what that time with them and traveling has really brought that other part of the equation, that it's more than just an attraction. It's more than just a nonprofit. It is celebrating somebody's life's work, which nowadays, and I've said this at the launch, there are less than 200 carousels in the world left.
That blew my mind.
Yes. And so
In the world?
in the United States.
The United States. Okay.
And it may even, I
That's
need to go
still-
back and check my statistics, but it's waning.
Yeah.
And to bring something new into the world that is a showpiece like
To
this
keep it alive.
is pretty incredible.
I love it. Like, it's so, so exciting. So, listeners, mark your calendars. May-ish.
And check the circleofgiving.org for
Yes.
any updates if you want to donate or volunteer or look at the animals or anything. It's we are working on our social media. I'm stretched a little thin. But it is coming. so.
Single employee organization right here trying to grow.
No doubt, girl.
And it's a lot.
But it's wonderful. I'm very blessed.
Yes, I'm so excited for you and for the whole project. So,
Thank you.
so much fun.
And thank you, Christy, and thank you, Johnny Sunshine.
Yeah, what's your name again?
Brandy.
Brandy. I got it right, Brandy. It's going to take time to get your name. I
It's
get
okay.
it.
You used
Brandy.
to know me. It's just been a while.
Brandy. Like
Yeah.
a brand. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brandy, for sharing.
Just Christ love. I love you. Thank you for coming, Brandy.
Thank you, Johnny.
Well, let's dive in and see, like, we've gotten to catch up with you, Brandy. Like, let's catch up with Christy and John and see what's going on in their lives. Do y'all have anything that you want to share with our listeners?
Well, but I know I go to the store Wednesday, Tuesday. I go to the airport, take a look at the airplanes Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh,
Sometime
nice.
I go with Crack. That's going to change. It will for a while.
Okay.
And then Friday I go to the center, see what's going on with Maddie and the girls and all that. And I see Mark at 1:30. We go places. And like that. And Sunday I watch my program and everything. And Monday go back to the center, see what's going on with everything. You know how that is.
And it just starts all over again, huh?
I like it. It's
You
okay
got your
to me.
routine, don't you? It's a good one.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
question for you, Johnny Sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. So I remember two places you worked years ago.
Yeah.
You worked at my Kroger,
Yeah.
but you also worked at my Sonic. with Chuck Sugg. Which was your favorite job?
I didn't know you worked at
Sonic.
Sonic.
Kroger.
Yeah. Well, they all knew me there with Chuck, like that. So,
You were good at both jobs. Which one was your favorite?
oh boy, they both look good, but not all. And Julie's older people now. She got grandkids now. I think you know. Yeah, I seen it not too long ago, and well, I hope they think she can work. Her granddaughter can work at Sonic. They old enough. They in their 20s.
Making
Yeah.
you feel old?
No, she's not. She looked good for her age, for 62. Like that.
So you're not answering my question. Which was your favorite? Sonic or Kroger?
I think Kroger was.
Okay. Fair.
Because it gets kind of cold outside.
Oh, yeah. It is cold.
And
outside.
hot, too.
That's true.
Yeah. You like that AC and the heat inside
Yeah,
Kroger.
yeah.
Well, what have you been up to, Christy?
Working.
Yeah. What do you, one, share with everybody where you work and what your favorite part about your job is.
I work at Goodwill in Franklin. And my favorite part of my job is welcoming people in.
I bet you're great at that.
I am.
She's very good at she's very good at her job.
Yep.
What are some other things that you get to do at work?
Bring good stuff out to the floor and hang it up.
Yep.
Which Goodwill do you work at? The one in Independence Square or the other one?
Independence Square.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Christy does a really good job. We've tried to go to Goodwill to get some footage of her working, and we'll be talking to her. We turn around to get something set up, and then she's gone. She's on the other side of the floor because she's all about her
busy.
work. Yeah, you cannot come in and distract her. She's gonna do her job.
That's awesome.
You can't distract me.
No, yeah. What are some other things you've been up to, Christy?
Went and got my nails done today.
Ooh,
I noticed.
That's pretty. What color is that?
I can't remember what color it is.
It's kind of like a brownie orange. It's like a orange. It's very
Kind of.
spring. Getting ready for it. We got some warm weather in Tennessee, and so we're
Yep.
excited for it. Anything else going on in your life that you want to share?
No.
I know there's lots of stuff going on, but you never know what you want to share with it.
How are you settling into your new title, Miss Executive Director?
It's good. It's good. It's been the longest 9 months of my life.
Okay.
But it's been really good. I've learned a lot, continuing to learn every day. And it's moments like this when we're getting to do stuff with
Yeah.
our folks, with John and Christy, that really make it worth all the hard work. So,
Understood.
yeah. I will say I've got some gray hairs I can name after a couple of people.
Okay. We won't mention those on here,
I'm just
right?
kidding. Yeah, no. But it's been a lot of fun.
And Waves is still growing, both early childhood and the adult program.
Yeah. Our early learning program, they've doubled in staff in the past 14 months, which is wild.
Again.
Yeah, exactly. Got over 470 kids enrolled today.
Wow.
And then our adult services were pretty much at capacity in all of our programs. We've just got a little bit of space in certain areas. So, yeah.
It's a good report.
Oh, yeah. We've been having some fun.
Great.
Yeah. So any other updates, John, before we sign off? Or do you want to sign us off?
Yes, I will, Brandon.
And you want to give a big thank you to Brandy for being here today?
Yeah, and Jesus Christ, love you, Brandy. I love it. They call me Johnny something. Thank coming and coming again if you get a chance, Brandy.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad to.
I appreciate Waves and what they did for my family and what they do this for community.
Amen.
To
For
board
the
this
Christ.
community.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Brandy, Johnny Sunshine, sign off. You can love y'all. Johnny Sunshine, you can love y'all. Johnny Sunshine, signing off.
That's right.
I sign all the time. Not today.
All right, that's it. That's a wrap on episode 1, season 10. This is Waves of Awareness, hosted by Spread the Positive. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for turning into another episode of Waves of Awareness. We are glad you're here till next time.
Waves of Awareness is a Waves Inc. podcast and made possible thanks to Spread the Positive, the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and Tennessee's Department of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. For more information, visit us online at www.wavesinc.com/podcast.